Disclaimer, I want you guys to realize that I'm 16 years old. Jerome is 15 years old. We are just sophomores at high school. We do not mean to cause any harm. We do not mean to ruin anyone's reputation. This is just for entertainment purposes and just for a good laugh. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of Real Talk. My name is Wilson.
My name's Jerome.
And today we'll be talking about the school system. We'll be telling stories about our experiences in school, some wacky stories, and just our general opinions on how the school system is nowadays. So let's get right into it. All right, so first off, we're going to be talking about some school stories, things that's been going crazy. And Jerome, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I have an amazing story. Alright, so I don't know why I remember this so in detail. Probably because it was like traumatizing. But, alright, so this is when I was in kindergarten. I had this teacher. I don't know, what's a good teacher name? It was a guy, so what can I call him?
Mr. Barfield.
That wasn't his real name, but yeah, Mr. Barfield. Alright, we're gonna call him Mr. Barfield. Alright, so Mr. Barfield had this classroom, right? It was just like, typical, like, kindergarten classroom. You had like the numbers and stuff on the wall and all that, because, they want you to, learn that and all that. And so I remember like so many details about this class, but mainly what I remember is I realized when I was older that my teacher was a pedophile. And like I know that's hard to believe, but like the teacher was actually a pedophile. And the reason I know that is because on basically he would read to us, every like teacher for like low grades, they would, read to you and stuff because you wouldn't read by yourself. So he sat there, he had this wooden rocking chair, and he would sit in the front of the class, right? And he would have everyone sit on the rug that was, like, in front of him. So the entire class would go over there, and then he would, like, make any announcements we were doing and stuff. And the reason that I'm, like, 99% positive he was a pedophile. If it was your birthday, he would ask, too, like, and people would say yes. He would take you over to his rocking chair or whatever, and give you a birthday spanking. Now, mind you, we are like 6 years old. Little kids with this like 80-year-old guy and asks if you want a birthday spanking. No, I mean, kids would say yes to him. He would have, alright, so, like the side of your chair, like you had the armrest, he literally fucking bend you over that and give you a birthday spanking.
That's weird.
The kids would say yes to this, and that wasn't it. He would like, just his behavior in general. Like he always like, how like teachers wouldn't want to like mind their own business because you would think that like they would get annoying. Apparently not, because he always wanted to be around us. I mean like all the time. Like he would literally sit at our tables and stuff. Like we would be sitting there doing an assignment. Like we were young. We'd be like cutting out shapes and stuff. He would literally come over there and would sit with us and literally like just talk to us the entire time. Like normally they would have like a desk or whatever, and they would just go do whatever they want. They're just waiting for us to finish what we're doing, so we can learn some numbers or something. Nope. This dude decides he literally wants to come and sit with us the entire time. He would literally like he had these like push pins or whatever, and that's what he would use to point to stuff. It was like the most creepy class in the world, and I didn't realize it when I was younger because I didn't know any better. But when I was like my age now, I started realizing like that was extremely weird, extremely creepy. I'm pretty sure he's a pedophile, and obviously, I was smart enough back then, whenever it was my birthday, I said no. I was smart enough to know. I was like, no, I don't want you touching me.
Yeah.
I was smart enough to know. I said no every single time. Well, there was only one time because I was in there for a year. But I remember when he asked me, I said no.
No.
I mean,
That's honestly, like, to get my point of view on it, like, just for someone to like, it's a kindergarten class, right? Like,
yeah,
what grade was this? This was kindergarten. Okay.
kindergarten.
It's like you're 5 years old, and you're like an 80-year-old man teaching a 5-year-old class. It's a you want spanking. It's like
He would literally be like, all right, it's like so and so's birthday. You want a birthday spanking? That's exactly how he said it.
No, no, I do not.
I just came to see how the talk show is going.
We're in the middle of recording it, like right now.
So get out!
We're kind of. You want to say hi now that you're here?
No.
You want to say hi?
Hi. Hi.
That's my cousin.
Alright. Yeah, so going back to it, it's like
What? Oh, it's mine. Yeah. Anyways.
alright, anyway, going back to it, like my opinion, that's honestly very weird. If I was to be honest, if I ever knew that right now, I would honestly report him and like
Oh yeah,
he'd
I
be a
tried to find
registered
him. I
he'd be
literally
a
told
registered
my
sex
mom.
offender.
Yo, when I tried to tell my mom, like, I remember so many details from that classroom. It was actually incredible. And they were just like, why do you remember so much? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know why. Don't ask me. But I'm like, I literally told them, like, what he used to do and stuff. And I tried looking him up online. I couldn't find him anywhere. I didn't find him on any lists or anything because I was just like, wow. I'm surprised, like, I don't know if he got fired or something. I don't know what happened, but I know he wasn't there, like, after the year I was there. I don't know what happened, but I have no idea. I don't know what happened to him, but all I know is just everything that happened there was just so insane, and how I was very smart enough as a 5-year-old to not let this old man that's like 80 years old touch me like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm on Snapchat right now. By the way, you guys want to ask on Snapchat,
yeah, I'll put it up.
it'd be right on the screen. Mine's at WMan42. His is at King_Jerome123. Please ask there. Wait, is my... Alright, Snapchat's so broken. Sick. Alright, but if you guys want to go follow us there, go right ahead. It'd be lit.
You got any other stories? Like, you want to talk about something?
Okay, here. Alright, this is 8th grade. This is a pretty funny story. This was 8th grade. This was language arts class. So there was a kid in my class. Let's call him Steven for a second. And so we have these books they're vocabulary books. And every week we have, you know what I'm talking about. We have like 20 words every week. Or every 2 weeks, yeah, every 2 weeks. And we would go over the new words and we would have to pronounce them. So there's this word called annul. If you see where I'm getting at this, you know exactly what's going to happen. So Stephen was a very perverted kid. Very perverted kid. And whenever we would go over the words, she'd be like, all right, say this word. All you guys have to say it back. She's like, all right, the word annul. Everyone said annul. You know what Steven said?
Oh, no.
After everyone said annul, he was like, anal. I was like, right in front of the teacher. The teacher was right behind him when he said that. She heard him, kicked him out of the class immediately.
Oh.
Even the funny part about it is that I'm in the back of the class. Myself and 2 other friends are in the back. We're like, I bet she's gonna say that. I bet she's gonna say it. Right before he said it, he got kicked out. We turned and we called it. It was oh my, it was stupid. It was just stupid. Like I had.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh! Here's another story. This also happened in 8th grade English class. So we had a project. Jerome, I already told you the story. We had a project for the book called The Lord of the Flies. You guys don't know about that? It's about a whole bunch of kids that get stranded on an island. They have to survive. So we had to go out in the woods and build fortresses, like build like huts and just like we have to survive.
Yeah,
It's for a project. So at the end of class, we're walking back through the trail. This is about springtime, so snakes and other insects are roaming around. I am deeply afraid of snakes. I do not like them whatsoever. I know I'm going to get called a wimp. I just don't like them whatsoever. a snake comes up. It's a black king snake, so the most it can do is just bite me, and I'll get into shock, and it's not venomous, so it ain't gonna do me any harm. I just have to treat it like an injection wound. Uh, I about stepped on the king snake. I was about that close from stepping on it. I look down at the right second. It leeches back like it's about to snap at someone. I turn black for 7 seconds. I jump so high in the air, so far away. I about jumped on one of my friends, like in his arms, and I sprinted away. I was like, yeet! Oh my, dude, it was like scary. I was like, yeah, no. Like, I had to, I was like, yeah. 'Cause that's the first time I ever encountered like a snake, like I stepping on a snake. Like I've encountered snakes from like afar and like watched them, but I had never like almost been like head to head with one. I was scared. I was like, ah. So those are my two stories so far. So now we're gonna get opinions on school. Jerome, what's your opinion on school system? How you think it should happen? If you see a lot of flaws in the system, correct them. How would you correct them?
All right. Well, first off, I think the school system is relatively good for what they're trying to do. I mean, I obviously think that they could do some things better. They need to take some things out and put some things in, but overall, they're doing a pretty good job. Education system seems to be doing pretty well, but the thing that most annoys me about the school system is the teachers. The teachers teachers can be really good sometimes. You know, you love teachers; they're awesome. You have like
Shut,
you get
shut,
good grades.
shut, 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 shut.
You get good grades in their class. They're nice to you. You're nice to them. It's just like a good class. But then you have the other classes, the ones that the teachers don't put in any grades. Your grades are tanking in that class because they don't put anything in. They give you zeros for stuff that you did, that you actually did. You show it to them, they still don't put it in. Things like that. That's the stuff that annoys me because if your parents check your grades and stuff, and your teacher doesn't put in any grades, and your grade is just awful. Like say you have like 10 grades, but she only puts in 2 of them and one of them's a 0 and one of them's 100, you're gonna get a 50. And if your parents check that, they're gonna be like, why don't you have why don't you have a good grade? Like, how did you get a 0 on this or something? And they don't put in all the rest of those 8 grades that you should have in there that would like balance it out and probably give you somewhere around a B or something like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what annoys me most, just the grading system and the teachers in general. And
Okay, now how would you fix that?
I would take the teacher. I would put them on a statistical scale in terms of good qualities versus bad qualities, and get the best ones out of the bunch. Basically, I mean, because obviously some of the more on the bad side of teachers that wouldn't put in grades very much, they might be like on top of it in terms of like teaching. Like if you had a topic to go over, they might explain everything perfect, you get everything, but then when it comes to assignments, they might not do so well. So that's what mostly annoys me. But I would want to find somebody who can do all of that and put grades in on time, get their point across, and so that you know it and you can do good on your test, good on your final, and you can move on and you'll be fine for the next grade. Like,
Yeah, I understand that. This is my problem with the school system. Is like, it's basically just standardized testing, like the SAT, ACT stuff. I just don't understand how like 2 tests can determine whether like you get into a good college or not. Like I don't understand that. I don't believe like 2 tests. It's like, and going back to, for I don't know if you guys in your states have this, but we have EOGs. They're called end of grade testing. Um, they don't have it in high school, but they have it in elementary from 3rd grade up to 8th grade. And if you don't pass an EOG, you don't move on to the 2nd grade level, which I don't understand. That should not happen
well,
whatsoever.
I mean,
I feel like, yeah, I know what you're about to say with the whole entire grades and stuff
yeah.
for grades, but I understand that if you fail, like the whole entire, like if you get C's and then you fail the EOG, you're gonna get held back.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like. I do not like that whatsoever because C is an average. You're in the average. Like you're not lower than anyone else, or you're not better than anyone else. You're just right in the middle, and that's a good spot to be. You can go to a community college. You can go to a college with C's, and you can still make a living off of it. Like it may not be the living that you want, but it can be like a good living that will make you happy. You can find a job. There are some jobs that all you have to see is a degree.
Yeah.
It's like, do you have a degree in this field? If you do, we might think of you for the job. Like the job I got recommended was sociologist. I just need a bachelor's degree in, I believe, psychology and like the study of the mind and stuff. Which I'm into that stuff. Like I'm into like science of like the mind and like I like that stuff. It's pretty cool. I like investigating like crime stuff. That's why I might take forensics when I'm a senior. So I did that, and it pays $89,000 here. $89,000 a year.
Oh, okay.
A sociologist. Which that's insane. That's a bank. That's a lot. Where I see some police officers in New York only getting paid $29,000 a year. Where they had to go to law school, they had to take a law enforcement class, they had to go through all the tests and procedures just to become a police officer, and then they get paid so little.
Yeah.
Is that what's happened? Like,
It also kind of depends on the caliber of job. I mean, obviously that they're here to protect our safety and stuff, but also you would be doing something where it can totally affect somebody's life.
yeah.
So it all kind of depends, but still, I see what you're coming from. Like,
And the fact that like a lot of people say, oh, you gotta go to college. You gotta go to college. If you don't go to college, then you're gonna be living in poverty.
yeah, that's
Like that's stupid. No, like
you can make an entire living for yourself, and actually, like, if you're smart and you know that you're smart and you know that you can do stuff, then you might not need college if you can be successful at something that you're good at. And if
Exactly.
you can do that early on, and you know that it's something that you can continue on and doing, then you probably wouldn't need it for something that you might find miserable and
Exactly.
in some random field that you probably don't like. So, I mean,
It's
yeah,
just moral of the story. Find something you're really passionate about.
yeah,
Like that's what you really need to do. Find something you're extremely passionate about. Find something that you can do for a living that you can go into like a study for. And here's what I would do. A lot of people say don't go to community college because it's worthless. No, community college can save you tens of thousands of dollars. It really can. Because you can go to a community college right out of high school, get your associate's degree after 2 years, then those credits that you earned at community college can transfer over to an actual university. You can spend 2 years at the actual university, get your bachelor's degree, and you'll be saving a whole bunch of money than just hopping out of high school and going straight to a 4 year. Do you know how much, like, and if you want to go to like an out of state university for 4 years, you know how much that's going to kill your bank account? And
yeah,
how much like you're going to be using for student loans? It's
yeah,
like, pick the smart way. And like, if you're not doing well in school and you know that you're gonna be living in poverty, go to the military, because you're gonna there's a lot of benefits, and you can get an education while you're serving in the
yeah.
military.
You can.
It's like, of course, if you have passion for this country, if you know that you need like the benefits and stuff, head to the military. That's my last resort. If I don't do well in high school, I'm heading to the military.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing. But if I do well in high school, I'm heading to a community college, 2 years, finish off my degree to get my bachelor's. And if I do really well, heck, I might just as well as go for my master's degree.
yeah,
Just because you always should have something you should fall back on.
yeah.
Like
Definitely.
if you have a dream and that dream doesn't work out, at least you have that education behind you so you can actually get a well-paying job and you don't have to go into some like McDonald's and work there for the rest of your life.
I mean, but then again, if you're actually passionate about your dream, if you do have something to fall
Yeah,
back on, definitely. If it goes south, fall back on it, but also try again. Don't just give up
yeah.
on it.
Don't give up on your dreams.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
like
ever.
really. Please don't give up on your dreams.
Don't give up.
We're not saying that dreams are a bad thing. We're saying that it's just good to have that plan B. It just is.
Yeah, it is
Cause,
definitely.
cause if, cause you can be on that plan B, and you can still work towards your dream. And if your dream actually works out, and after you retire, you're getting paid a whole bunch of money, dude. Just don't. Another thing, don't think money is everything.
Yeah.
Money is something, but your dream, don't do it thinking that you're going to make a whole bunch of money off it. Do it because you love it. That's why you need to find something that you're truly passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about it, what's the point of doing it?
Yeah, you're right.
It's like
Definitely.
me. I like talking. I really do.
Yeah.
I like talking about, especially controversial topics. I like to get my point of view into things.
Yeah.
That's why I made this talk show, and that's why we made this talk show. I like talking about this stuff. It's really cool. I am passionate about talking about things that are controversial. I have my side on a lot of things.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's just how it is and stuff. Like guns. A lot of people think that guns should be outlawed. I like guns. I want to protect my guns. It's in my Second Amendment right. In the Bill of Rights, you can't change history. You can't. Just can't do it. But that's my stuff. That's really all I have to say and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.